Hello, my name is Rachel and I'm here today with another vlog. I did a vlog recently of me reading The Burning by Laura Bates and I had so much fun doing that and talking about my thoughts as I was reading it, and then Lauren did her announcement for Cosy Reading Night and I was like, feeling it. I'm feeling chill, I'm feeling vlogging, I'm feeling nice. Let's do it. So ignoring that embarrassingly cracked phone, 10 minutes till Cosy Reading Night starts. And so I thought I would just tell you a little bit about what I'm planning to read and such before it starts. I thought I would show you this room because no one ever sees this room because I always film in the other room. So this is actually Rachel's reading corner. This is my little reading chair that I love. It's got my Ravenclaw pillow and my penguin blanket. And I have my 3 penguins here. Actually, you can't really see with that light on. You can't see with it off either, but basically I have these 3 penguins. That's Pepper, Percy and Penelope, and this little light thing that I got from IKEA that's so cute. I absolutely love it. And then there's this long surface here with some drawers underneath it with some candles and some books on it, usually books that I'm pretending to currently read. And then my bed is over here, Princess Penguin, Pride of Place. Can we tell that Rachel loves penguins? I was just catching up on the YouTubes right there. Yeah, this is my bed. And then yeah, my huge bookshelves that I got a few months ago, which I am absolutely in love with. They are never full. There's always books missing like this, and they're always piled wrong, books missing here, because I take them off for videos and then I don't put them back and it's quite annoying. But yeah, these are my lovely shelves that I love so much. This was like a TBR one at first and then I took books off it so often that it's just now a normal shelf. I thought I would show you this room because this is the room that I'll be spending Cosy Reading Night in. This is my Cosy Reading Corner, like my name. So first I've got all my essentials. I've got my candles, which are lit, ready to go. I've got my tea, which is just... I'm having chamomile tea today because I love chamomile tea. I've got Spotify loaded up with King Princess's new album because that came out a few days ago and I'm fucking loving it. So I'm just going to be listening to that the whole time. I've took biscuits and a Galaxy salted caramel chocolate bar because this is like my favourite Galaxy chocolate. It's so good. And then I have some page tabs and bookmarks at the ready because I know myself. But obviously all of those things are not the point of Cosy Reading Night. What am I going to be reading? So, if you watched my non-fiction November TBR, you will know that I mentioned that I wanted to have a little reading night thing where I read some graphic novels that I was hoping to read that were non-fiction. And so, tonight is the night that that's happening. So I'm very excited. So I've mentioned these 3 books in that TBR, but I'm going to be reading French Milk by Lucy Knighsly, Something New by Lucy Knighsly, and also Kid Gloves by Lucy Knighsly. There's a bookmark in there too, so I've got another spare bookmark going on. These are all non-fiction, memoir type graphic novels about Lucy Knighsly's life. This one is about a trip that she went on to Paris with her mum, but the trip was for 6 weeks. Paris is like my favourite place on earth. I can't express how much I love Paris. So this is like going to be my favourite thing ever. Just a feeling. This one, the tagline is Tales from a Makeshift Bride and it's all about her getting married and being engaged and all that sort of stuff. And then for Kid Gloves, the tagline is 9 months of careful chaos and this is about her first child, I think, and being pregnant and that sort of thing. I just love the sound of all these. I love a quiet graphic novel. I love a like what would seem like boring life focused kind of graphic novel. That's what I like. So I feel like I'm going to love these and I'm really excited to read them. So that's the main thing I'm hoping to read. I just want to like read a book an hour. But in case I want to mix things up a bit, in case I'm like, oh, I want to read an actual book for a little while. I also have Foxes Unearthed, A Story of Love and Loathing in Modern Britain by Lucy Jones. And this is just all about foxes and how England is not so nice to foxes and the history of foxes, foxes and myths, all that sort of stuff. So I'm really excited for this one. I really want to read it. So I think it'd be really nice because the introduction's only about 10 pages. Oh no, it's only 6 pages. So I feel like I will probably read the prologue tonight just to get me into it, get a feel for it. Now, I'm probably not going to read this, but I got sent it today. So I feel like I have the excitement of like, this is new, so I want to read it and it's only short and it would be a perfect Cosy Reading Night thing to read. So it is Doom Rolled in Glitter by Leena Norms. It is the little poetry pamphlet that she's been doing because she turned 30, I think it was, and this is like to celebrate the end of her 20s, and it's a little poetry pamphlet. I adore poetry. I adore poetry pamphlets because I think they're like the perfect amount of poetry to just read in one sitting, and I absolutely love Leena's channel. I watch it all the time, so I'm really excited for this one, and I feel like it might be a cute one, like a cute little 20-minute read to split up what I'm already reading. So there's a chance that I might actually read that today. That's a spoiler for my November book haul. I haven't even put up my October book haul. That's the situation we're in right now. Anyway, they're all the books that I'm hoping to read. They're my snacks, my tea, my candles. That's the sitch. That's where we're at. It is 18:55, which means Cosy Reading Night starts in 5 minutes. So I will check in with you probably when I've read a book. Hi, it been a hot minute. Actually, it's been 2 hours. I did not really know what this book was when I started reading it. Obviously, it is about Paris and this girl living in Paris with her mum for 6 weeks. However, what it is a diary. So this is the journal that she kept. So it has photos and illustrations. It also has a lot of writing, a lot more writing than graphic novels do. So this took me 2 hours to read. It was longer than I thought. However, really enjoyed it. My favourite things about this were the food that she's eating. Like, she's constantly having cheese and wine, and she goes to like so many of my favourite art galleries and places in Paris, and it's just amazing. There's like 10 pages where she goes to the Louvre, Musée d'Orsay and the Musée de l'Orangerie, and it's in the space of the same 10 pages, and it's just like, oh my god, everything I love. They're like my favourite places in the world. So absolutely loved that. I will say, the one thing that really annoyed me about this book, it literally, like every time it got mentioned, it infuriated me. So I'm a vegetarian. I don't have any judgment, like people who go for meals with me, I go on dates, like whatever. I'm not bothered if you eat meat, except when it comes to foie gras, because I find it physically disgusting. It is the most horrendous food that has ever existed, and I don't understand why it's legal. I actually don't think it should be legal. And if you don't know, foie gras is goose that is tortured. It is a force-fed grain until it can walk, and it's basically just killed by force feeding. It is disgusting, and it is, I don't understand how it exists. And she eats it a lot, and I could get by if she was like, didn't really know what it was, but she does. And there's a part where she's like, I know foie gras is meant to be really bad and like torture for geese, but so's like animals being kept in really small cages and not being free range, so really it's not as bad. Are you serious? What? So like, because people are cruel to other animals, you have the right to be cruel to these animals? Like, it just really bugged me. I don't like it. So that is the only thing that really bothered me with this book, but it bothered me a lot because it's something that really does bother me anyway. So yeah, I would probably give this like 3 stars because I think my enjoyment of it came a lot from the fact that I love Paris and I love reading about people being in Paris and people's experiences in Paris. Like, whenever people go on holiday, I'm not really that bothered about hearing how people's holidays went, but whenever they've been to Paris, I'm like, no, tell me everything. Tell me where you went, tell me what you did, tell me everything. I think that's why I liked it, so I'd probably give it like 3 stars. It's not amazing, but it wouldn't be, to be fair. It's one of the first things she had published anyway. So it's 9:05. Can you see that? Yeah, 9:05. And I just went downstairs and got some more tea, so that's happening. What am I going to read next? So I've got like an hour left, and I'm feeling like I want to read the prologue of Foxes Unearthed now. So that'll probably take me about 10 minutes. Unsure how we're going at the minute, but yeah, I will let you know how it goes. So it's past 10 o'clock now and Cosy Reading Night has officially finished. I'm feeling quite tired, but I thought I would just update you on what I read in the last hour, because I think the last time I updated you was when I'd finished French Milk. So obviously, like I said before, read French Milk, finished that one. I quite enjoyed it, apart from the foie gras, we won't mention it. Then I picked up Foxes Unearthed and I read the prologue, which was quite good. It was just talking about how divisive foxes are, and I don't think I really realised how divisive until she was describing it. She was like, no other animal inspires so much love and so many literary characters and films and all of this stuff, and at the same time inspires so much hatred and rallies and arguments in parliament and petitions and all this sort of stuff to do with fox hunting. And I was like, oh yeah, I actually haven't seen that many animals in Britain make that much of a stir. So yeah, it was quite interesting, and I'm definitely excited to pick this one up this month. The chapters are very long though. That is the main thing that I find with non-fiction that can put me off, is that I really like finishing a chapter when I read something, and in non-fiction books the chapters are always huge. The first one starts on page 7 as cunning as a fox, and it finishes on page 61. That's just over 50 pages. Like, that is long for me. Definitely going to be picking it up this month though, because it was a really nice introduction. It felt like a very chill kind of read, so definitely feeling this. And then I didn't pick up any of the books that I mentioned that were on my TBR. I actually ended up going back to Another Day in the Death of America, finally. So I was reading this a while ago, and I moved to Switzerland and I didn't have it with me, and it's a really big hardback, so I don't want to take it with me, blah 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 blah. I've said the story many a time because I never read it. I finally picked it back up and I read half of a chapter, and it's a really good chapter. It's about this boy called Samuel Brightman, and he was shot in Dallas. He was 16. The shooting was really underreported. It was just a teen's been shot in Dallas in broad daylight, and that was pretty much it, and he wasn't really discussed and that sort of a thing. And on the first page it says, we know how many US police officers are killed in the line of duty in any given year, but there is no national tally for how many people are killed by police officers. And it kind of goes on from there about how much, like, no one really seems to care that this child got shot, and it talks about, is it because people are desensitized? Is it because people are purposefully looking away because it's like, it just keeps happening and it hurts too much, I don't want to see it. Oh, this I found really interesting. So he was talking about, there's basically like quite a divide in Dallas between North Dallas, which is quite rich and white and Republican and all that sort of stuff, and then the rest of Dallas, which has a really concentrated black population. I think it said in South Dallas. And so he like focuses on that and focuses on where different minorities are in Dallas. One of the paragraphs he said, which I just found fascinating, was about journalists. So he says, American journalists earn a median salary of $50,028 a year. 8.5% of them are from minorities, 92% have degrees. Newsrooms are considerably whiter, wealthier and better educated than the population in general. So when it comes to covering gun violence, those most likely to frame the news agenda are therefore not the same as those most likely to be affected by the issue. Journalists are less likely to live in the neighbourhoods where such violence takes place. Their opinions about those areas are pieced together out of what others with the same privileges as themselves have reported, and then further amplified. And he goes on to talk about how that's the reason that things aren't getting reported as much, because they're not as important to us. And the father of this boy, God, it's so horrible, this boy Samuel Brightman, who was shot, so Gary Young went and spoke to, that's the writer of the book, he went and spoke to his father, and his father said, when it's a black child shot, it's a flash, says his father Willie, like a flash of lightning. You see it and you'll be like, was that lightning? That's how it is when a black child gets murdered or gets killed. No big news. But when it comes to other races, oh well, you know it's going to be on channels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hate to say it, but we still live in a racist world. You may have more opportunities, but in the end result, you still living in a white world, and we're still thought of as less than. And basically they're saying we don't matter. But if it was their child, they want the world to come to a halt, if not speaking out of anger or anything, it's life. And I just thought, like, how horrible is that to talk about shootings and your own son's shootings and like know that it doesn't matter to people as much as if he'd been a white boy. Like, I just, it was hard. I was remembering why I put this book down. I don't want to put it down. I actually really got back into it, and especially because I'm so tired. Usually when I'm tired I want to read things like graphic novels, poetry. I'm not very good at reading like a lot of text and a lot of like statistics and information when I'm tired, but if it's something that I really like, as in like find engaging, then I do like to read it, and I find this super engaging. It was more that I read chapter after chapter after chapter in a really short space of time, and hearing about that many horrible stories with like no change on the horizon is pretty difficult. So they're the 3 books that I've been reading during Cosy Reading Night. If you've read any of those, please let me know down below, or if you took part in Cosy Reading Night, let me know, and let me know what you read, because that'd be super cool. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!